Hello, ladies and genitals, Stephen Quick here, and today I am painting the stunningly beautiful Cate Blanchett as the stunningly beautiful Galadriel from Tolkien and Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. I've been wanting to paint it for a while, and because I did the Frodo one a while ago, people seem to like the Frodo, so Galadriel was the next step. So we're going to dive right in now and paint her, and let's hope it goes right. So there is some idiot ready to paint, and picking his nose. There is a canvas. This is 30 by 20, this canvas, 30 inches by 20 inches. A standard size, really. As I was saying, in the film, Galadriel is very light, very dreamy, very romantic, just sort of the muse to everybody. So I wanted to paint her all in very light shades, very light tones, if you like. So this grey here, I'm working in her face, working in the layers. And this grey, if this was beside any other colour, it would look quite white. You need white, in fact, but because this is against white, it looks grey, if that makes sense. This is acrylic paint, acrylic grey paint, and just painting it with a very small brush. I like small brushes, and on a primed canvas which has been primed in white. As you can see there, you can see roughly my doodles, my sketch, which I haven't put in the video because you can't really see much of that because it's paints or lines. And you can see there's a big heavy shadow from the light. I'm sorry about that. I've taken another grey. This is sort of a slate grey. I'm working in the second layer, if you like, so the mid tones to her face, the mid tones that will make up a portrait. She has an awful lot of hair, and the idea I wanted to do was to put all the hair and all the heaviness on one side of the canvas and have the other side of the canvas all really light and dreamlike. So this is why you can see this work up here. I'm going in now and getting my colour balances right. You can see that sort of very, very dark grey at the bottom, going up to normal greys into white. And you can see here that it is very light. And because you've got the light coming through the window now, you can kind of see how gentle, how silent this painting is. So I'm continuing to work in here. This is the crown and the eyes, just getting the detail in and hopefully getting it all to work right. This is obviously the most important part of doing any painting, is making sure your lines are correct the first time, and I think they will go right on this one. I can't quite remember, but I'm quite confident. There you can see I'm working the eye and getting the eyebrows in and the nose, just to get the actual shape and the features in her face. They look a bit big at the moment, which is probably what I'm thinking to myself there. Again, working in the same tones of grey. These, if you look up at 1, 2, 3, only 3 shades, so 3 at the moment are making up her face. And then I'm going in with a much, much darker grey, which is nearly black, to bring in her hair, and this will, as well as define and frame her face, this will push the face back and also really exaggerate the light side of her face. The more dark you put in, the lighter the light looks. And now we're going into the more interesting parts, I guess, are the eyes. The eyes on Galadriel or Cate Blanchett are a major feature of her. Cate Blanchett has very big eyes, very stunning big eyes, which give her a presence and give her an allure of not just sexuality but love and passion. And this is very much what Galadriel is, as well as being this vision of beauty to some characters. She's this vision of hope and this vision of safety. And I wanted to portray, if I could, that look she has in the film. And to do that, you can see I've shaded the bottom of the eye, not the top. So I've not put the eyelashes in the top. I want the emphasis to look soft. Therefore, putting too much black or dark tones at the top will make her eyes go back and frown a bit. By putting it at the bottom, it makes them pop out a bit. And as you can see, it seems to be working. And I'm just defining more things in this face and then going with the lips, and this is where you start to see her face, you know. Once you've got the eyes in, once you've got the nose in, and then the mouth, it all starts coming together. And the mouth is, I think, 4 or 5 layers or shades, so you've got black, dark grey, lighter grey, and so on down, and just putting like those little folds that you have in the lips. Not too much again. I think the secret to a pop art painting is to do enough detail to portray what you're doing. If you go over the top with detail, it becomes a bit of a mess and kind of looks like you are confused and things aren't working. That's my biggest tip. If you're doing pop art, less is more. The hair is all chunks. I've done it all in chunks, not strands, because that'll look a bit stupid and again way too much detail for this style. So it's just the impression of hair, and as you can see now I'm working more in towards this side of the head. As well as this side of the head and the hair being darker, it's more complex. Therefore everything I'm doing on the right side of the painting is making the left side of the painting lighter, airier and more dreamlike, which is the whole intention of the painting. Now I'm going in with some drips to give it some excitement and passion and, you know, that thing that you have when you paint. And I'm just doing that by watering down the paint and dribbling it, dripping it, using a spray gun with water obviously, and just dripping down. All I'm doing is taking the base colour and dripping it down. Go back into the eyes now, we'll be adding in the highlights and the shadow to make the eyes just glimmer, to give them that sparkle. In the film they actually put what do you call it, those Christmas tree lights in front of her eyes, so she had various highlights on her, in her eyeballs, which gave her that mystic quality, which was a genius idea. I didn't do lots and lots of highlight dots, but I just did a couple. The crown, again, I could have gone quite complex with the crown and put a lot more detail in it, but I decided not to, for the same reason. I want people to focus on her face, on her eyes, on her mouth, on her nose. I don't want them to focus on the crown, because, you know, that's boring. But obviously it's still there, it needs to be there. Now I'm going back in again, just defining the eyes. You'll define the eyes 5 or 6 times because it is the most important part of a portrait. No matter what anybody says, the eyes are the most important part when you're painting anybody. And you can see the more I'm doing to it, the deeper those eyes are looking, the more intense the shape, the more intense the look. Now I'm splatting. I'm putting a bit of paint on the end of my fingers and just chucking it in there, just chucking it at the painting. It's hard to see because I'm going so fast, but you can see there, beside her hair is sort of splattered and dripping. This is to give it textures, to give it interest, this is to give it excitement, and most of all this is to make it look like how I paint. And this is what I love about painting. I love doing something perfect and destroying it and seeing if I can get it back, and sometimes I don't. But there she is, she's nearly all finished, and well, there's Galadriel. I really, really love painting her. She was so much fun. I love that bottom corner, that confusing corner, in contrast with her face. And there she is. There's her eyes, there's her nose, there's her mouth. She came out really well, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed Galadriel. Please subscribe, like, which is share and like apparently, and I shall see you all in the next video. Bye bye.